What's up, everybody? It's Tim. My name's Vinyl. I have an itch. Sorry. I'm here to do a really quick one for my good friend Alexspinsvinyl. He is celebrating his push to 300 and since surpassing 300 subscriptions. And I need to get this done. I have no excuse. I'm a bad human being. Let's jump in. Some questions here, of which the dog is going to chime in. So the first one was an underrated debut album. This was the first thing that came to mind, only because I think a lot of people just don't know it. This is Badlands. This was the band that formed with J.K. Lee after he left Ozzy Osbourne. This and the subsequent second album, Voodoo Highway, are just amazing stuff. Sadly, we'll probably never see reissues. You can go Google why. But if you are a fan of 80s blues metal, this is probably as good as it's ever going to get. This album is in my top 50, probably, definitely in my top 100. And it just doesn't get a lot of praise. It just doesn't get a lot of knowledge. So this is what I went with for this one. And any chance I get to show this off, because Rob at Black Star Vinyl made me cry on camera because of this one, it's worth it. So that's the way it goes. So question number 2 is a newer artist that you feel that the VC should know about. And I've talked about this guy before a couple times this year, thanks to Billy Hurst. He turned me on to him. And that's, sorry, I had to throw it away. That's Marcus King. So Marcus King, and I showed this one not too terribly long ago, the Marcus King Band. He has just a genuine great talent to him. He can kind of come across as a little southern rock, a little bit blues rock oriented, but it's just phenomenal stuff. This is his solo album that he worked with Dan Auerbach from the Black Keys. They Dan did the production on it, co-wrote songs with them. But even then, this stuff, like on his own, he's got 3 albums with the Marcus King Band, and I'm trying to track them all down. So definitely is excited to share that with the VC, and it's definitely worth checking out. I'm probably going out of order here. Forgive me. Show an album from a band that you've seen live that you would probably consider was your favorite live show. So I'm showing this again. This is a Pink Floyd boot that I have, Dark Side Over Earl's Court, or Dark Side Over London, excuse me, recorded at Earl's Court in '94. I saw Pink Floyd on the tour before the Momentary Lapse of Reason, and honestly, it was a bucket list moment for me. I went with I was in high school, went with 2 friends from high school who were both also really big Pink Floyd fans. Sadly, one is no longer with us. Rest in peace, Jeff. Not Jeff Kempen, just for anybody, you know, a good friend of mine from high school, Jeff. Anyway, we had a great time. There was no opening act, so we essentially got Shine On You Crazy Diamond sandwiched on bookends with a couple of other songs and the entire Momentary Lapse of Reason album. We got an intermission, and then they went to the goods. They didn't go back further than metal, which was okay. Would have loved to seen some of that early stuff from them, but that's okay. I mean, it's I hate to say it is what it is, but I mean, I was happy to see Floyd, and this show blew me away. Close nominations would have been the time I saw Maiden, or the time I saw Jimmy Page live. Not Zeppelin, but Jimmy Page. So Pink Floyd, definitely one I wanted to show. There was a question about an album that is your least favorite in your collection. And honestly, I mean, I have albums that I haven't cleaned or spun. In fact, that's going to be a feature that I'm going to be showing here in the not too distant future. I'm kind of working on those as we speak, at least in handful chunks. And if I spin an album and I just don't connect with it, it's got to go. You know, space is always a key thing for us collectors, and you know, I'm not saying that I necessarily feel that my collection has to be 5-star heat, but it has to be an enjoyable album. So I really didn't have anything to show on this. I mean, there may be stuff in the I haven't spun yet pile, but I have pulled things out that I've spun and said, I just don't connect with this. And, you know, and I give it a few spins to connect. And if I don't, I don't. So it's just what it is, what it is. So for that, I'm going to go with the old empty set, nil return. I got nada. An album you have multiple pressings of. And again, this is not something I really subscribe to. Because I listen to so many genres of music, it's hard for me to say that I want to get... I want to put a lot of money into getting multiple pressings of particular albums. That will probably happen down the road with the Beatles and Hendrix. Those are probably two of the only ones I might do. The Beatles only because I would love to have mono and stereo, just to compare and contrast and have my favorites thereof. But Hendrix, you know, I've said it before, I want to first press US, I want to first press UK. I have the reissues. You know, those would be the answer. But for the most I have is usually like 2 right now. And The Police is one that I have 2 copies of Synchronicity, only because I stumbled across them fairly cheap. And sorry, the dog is just like, hey, you're on camera, let's play. There's a ball. I got these both fairly cheap, and then they have alternate covers. You know, I'm not subscribing to, I have to buy multiple covers just because I think there's like 30 variants roughly of the Synchronicity album. I mean, if I get them in a collection, yay. If I don't care. I've got 2 of them that sound great. Correction, I have 1 that sounds fantastic, 1 that sounds okay. And I obviously spin the fantastic one. So, but the other one I got for like, I think for the pair, I paid less than $2. I mean, the other one that's not in the greatest of condition, I could either VCLT it, but again, it's not in the greatest condition, or I could trade it in, but again, it's not in the greatest condition, so it's just like, it'll just sit there because it's unique and it's something different. They're both on the purple Quiax vinyl. One of them was black. That would have been kind of really cool, but it is what it is. There's a bonus question, which I'm going to try to attempt to answer without the dog eating my arm. Which is, what is Alex's favorite album? Now, I know Alex. He's actually come over onto this side of the pond and had the pleasure of digging with him and stuff like that. So I feel like I know him. And I warred with this one because I know that one of the albums that meant a lot to him was, I think it was the Eminem Show, and I almost said that. Because I know that was one that he memorized forwards and backwards and backwards and forwards. And Anderson .Paak is another huge one that he loves so much. But he's got a soft spot for Stevie Wonder. And I've got 2 sitting over here. And I think it could be either one of these. And I'm not sure which. So I'm going to take a punt. And I'm going to say Talking Book. That's just my guess. It's just my thought. That's my official guess. The other one I had was Songs in the Key of Life. So we'll see if I'm right. I don't know if I am, but that's just my thought. So there will be a link to Alex's channel down below. Please go check him out. My dog is about to hit the camera. Wonderful guy. I mean, he is, and he's really kind of on the adventure of a lifetime right now. Just got recently engaged. Him and his fiance just got a flat, and they get ready to move. You know, so there she goes. You know, she's a goofball. So you know, it's definitely an exciting time for him, and couldn't be happier for him and his fiance. So hopefully, you know, everything that they are looking forward to comes true. So with that, I'm gonna get off here with this dog knocks over this camera, and there she goes again. With the ball and with the toy. You know, you want to say hi to everybody? You crazy dog. Anyway, take care, everybody. Be safe. We'll talk soon. Peace.